Thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for everyone that is here today and that we have the opportunity to have a senior rec in person. Please be with the people who couldn't make it here tonight, and peace be with those who are watching online. Thank you so much for all of our staff and teachers who have helped us through our whole high school, and for our parents who have supported us through everything. Thank you for every one of my classmates, and just help us to have a great and wonderful night. We love you. Amen.
Good evening. Welcome to Sunnyside Church. We want to welcome everyone who's watching online. I want to welcome all of you that are here in our pews. It's so crazy to see people actually here. And I am looking out and everyone's wearing their masks and distancing well, and we just thank you for that. And most importantly, welcome to you guys. Now, it's very nice to meet you, seniors. Kind of crazy that it took us hosting you for me to be able to see you guys face to face. And I also heard someone say that this was the first time that you guys have all been in a room together this year. Is that right? That is so crazy. Now, as we start this recognition of the seniors, my prayer for you guys is that you all receive a boat full of fish. Sounds weird, right? Why would anyone want to have a boat full of fish? Well, there's this amazing story in the Gospel of Luke where Peter is out fishing with his friends all night. Jesus says to him, "Go out where the water is deep and let down your nets to catch some fish." And Peter says, "Master, we've worked hard all night and didn't catch a thing. But if you say so, I will let down the nets again." Their nets and boats were so full of fish they were on the verge of sinking. You see, COVID has made all of our lives full of deep water. The things that we used to do, we just don't do it anymore. Like Peter, we've been fishing for so long, we should know what to do, but in this life-changing pandemic, we just can't fill our nets the way that we used to. This senior recognition is for you because just like Peter, you guys were in deep water last year. But just like Peter, you said, "If you say so, Jesus, I will keep letting down my net." And as you finish this senior year and you decide what you are doing for next year, the water will get deeper, and it's an exciting time because Jesus is going to tell you exactly where to put your net. And my prayer for you is that you listen to Jesus, persevere the deep waters, and keep letting down your nets. I promise you that if you do this, your boat will be so full of fish, your boat will feel like it's sinking. And though it may not seem like it, it is the perfect place to be. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Good evening, everyone. So here we are, class of 2021. This is the first of several events that make up any typical year at PAA. But as you guys know, this isn't your typical year. So I want to first thank Sunnyside Church for allowing us to have this cherished event. This cherished event made even more special given the sacrifices we've had to make this year. I know Pastor Billy has already given a welcome, but I also wanted to take a moment to welcome first our amazing PAA teachers and staff, next our family members that are here tonight, well, I guess all two of you, and most of all, I wanted to thank you, my fellow classmates of 2021. When you look on this stage tonight, you'll note that there are a few people who are not able to be here, either because of geographical locations or concerns over the virus. Under any other circumstances, they would have been here with us tonight, 6 feet apart, of course. I wanted to give them each a shout out and let them know that they're every bit a part of PAA Senior Class of 2021 as these people on stage. And so what our class decided to do was to make these posters so that even though they're not here with us tonight, that they can still feel like they're a part of our class. And so Haley, Bowen, Sam, and Rachel, we wish you were here and we look forward to seeing you soon in person. Thank you.
He's not finished with me yet. He's not finished with me yet. He's not finished with me yet. He's not finished with me yet.
Okay, so our class has not had the most normal 4 years at PAA, but let me take you back to our freshman year here. It was, to be honest, very awkward with all of us. We all came from different schools, but luckily right at the beginning of the year, we had freshman adventure, which was at Tree to Tree. And there we had a lot of team building, and one of the challenges that we had was that we had this huge platform. And it was kind of like a seesaw, and we all had to get on it, as many people on it, without one of the sides hitting the ground. And that challenge kind of broke the ice for us. It kind of opened up conversation. We were able to talk with each other. We kind of argued, but then we also made compromise. So that was our very first time interacting with each other in a good way. And from there on, there's no more awkwardness. We were just basically having fun with each other. Throughout the year, I learned that we did a lot of participation. We loved to go to communities. We liked to participate in sports events, and most of all, we loved doing spirit days. And it made the atmosphere so much fun, and we kind of carried that throughout the year. And at Bible camp, our first year at Bible camp, we had AC who loved rapping, and he kind of just took over the camp, and we just had a lot of fun there. And then we had this one class, physical science, and it was our first introduction into online textbooks. And one of our classmates, Keely in particular, couldn't handle an online textbook. So she went out of her way to get a physical textbook that ended up coming from Virginia, just so she could have a physical textbook and not deal with it online. And in that particular class, we made a lot of memories that I'm sure that we all will cherish forever. And by the end of the year, we were no longer strangers. In fact, we became family, basically. So, thank you.
Sophomore year. Sophomore year was kind of the year where our class grew together, but in a way where we were very comfortable being in high school. We were a loud class in the hallways, and we kind of walked around like we owned the school. And I don't know why we did that as sophomores, but it was pretty bold of us. It made some of those upperclassmen kind of not too fond of us, let's put it that way. That excitement kind of carried into the classroom as we were loud in almost every class we had, especially Mrs. Strunson. I'm kind of sorry for that. She kind of had to change up how she did the classroom for the next classes, but that's our fault. That kind of excitement carried into sophomore excursion. So together as a class, we were really just super rambunctious, I guess, as we went out to Big Lake. And I remember one evening we went up into the loft. I don't know if any of you guys know, but at the lodge at Big Lake, we went up to the loft and they had all these pads laying out. So we set them up in kind of like a circle, like a fight ring, I guess, if you want to put it that way. So we would get weight classes. So we had Janine and Sydney Pack, classmates of ours, and they were the smaller ones. So they would go against each other, right? Because we didn't want anything unfair happening. Then we had Ryan Mowry and Josh Hansen. So we had the stronger guys going against each other, Josh Soto and Brenton. So we were trying to make sure this was as safe as possible. I mean, luckily, no one was hurt. And unfortunately for the class below us, we kind of ruined their chances of going to Big Lake. So sorry to the junior class. I have a lot of sorries I'm saying. But yeah, after that, we came back to school and, tighter than ever, bonded through all those crazy experiences. Once that happened, we continued our vibrance and our just excitement for school through essay, like Sophia said, but this year we took it different. This year we wanted to win as sophomores. That was our goal. So we went and we worked hard all year and we got that goal at the end of the year. We had it won. And then this guy, Josh Panado, terrible, I mean great guy, I'm sorry guys. He came up with this crazy plan. It was this thing called Death Roomba. I don't know what that is. Basically, from my point of view, all he was trying to do was steal our victory. But trust me, like we learned back in Big Lake, we're good at fighting. So we wanted to fight for that. So shout out to John, wherever you're at. So John, he decided, I'm not gonna let this slide. Like we were kind of just chilling and John's like, no, we won. So he decides to make this petition. So he forces all of us to sign it. He's going around with papers left and right. Here, sign this, sign that. We can't let this go. He's going to staff members, making them sign it. We made a big fuss, but needless to say, we got the win. So we got that, at the end of the year, we got a little pizza party down. It was at a bowling alley. It was a good victory, trust me. It was a good reward. But we went down to the bowling alley, and in class of 2021 fashion, we were rambunctious once again. A few kids got kicked out, not the proudest moment. But that was the end of the sophomore year.
So next was junior year. Junior year started out great. We were able to actually attend Bible camp and go on a bunch of trips. Our specific one that was like just fabulous that year was Junior Challenge. I know all of us had a great time on Junior Challenge. There was lots of bonding that took place, and all the activities were just perfect. The one story that I'm going to mention right now is our drive back from Junior Challenge. While we were driving back, we stopped at a market somewhere down off of Mount Hood, and once we got back on the bus, we did the usual like roll call, everybody to make sure you have your seat buddies so that we left nobody behind. Well, as Mr. Cootsie was like telling us, check that you have your seat person and everything, Giovanni and I think Josh were kind of yelling a bit in the back, and so then the actual message that we didn't have somebody on the bus didn't get passed up to the front. The bus proceeds to leave, and a couple of us are like, hey, someone's not on the bus. And so then like a bunch of us started yelling, guys, we don't have Alyssa. And so we were like already out of the market, like back onto the highway and everything. And we're like, we gotta go back and get Alyssa. And so then I think me and I don't remember who the other person was, but another one of you guys, we all got out and we went and looked for Alyssa, and like she was just wandering around the market. And so then when I found her, it was like, Alyssa, we left already. And then anyways, so like Andrew has been mentioning, yet another time when our class being a little bit rowdy has caused problems. The next thing I wanted to talk about was during Junior Challenge, you go on this hike, right? And on the way back, there's a little shortcut because you have the opportunity to get to the last station. Well, throughout this shortcut, there was a swamp full of mosquitoes. And so many of us just thought we should cut across, and because none of us could communicate really with the other groups, every single one of us did it. And so as we were like, Mr. Cootsie, when we would get to the last station, told us, I could hear you guys screaming the whole way because you'd step foot in that thing, and so many mosquitoes came up. And so that was a huge, just, we all joke about that now, and I hear about it frequently. Junior year, the beginning, fabulous. Life was going great. Both basketball teams made it to the Sweet 16. All of us were just having a good time, getting in the zone with second semester. And then March 13 hit. Friday the 13th, it was snowing. We all got told that we can't come back on campus for the week before spring break. All of us were just kind of joking around like, this is only gonna last about 2 weeks, and here we are. So, so that was just kind of a little downhill in junior year, and then all of us had to adjust to online school and everything, and so that was a big thing for our class. But quite honestly, we've been doing pretty great, guys. So, yeah. Another thing we had to realize was that we were going to have to face the realities of senior project in this type of environment. We couldn't do the same things we wanted to, and a lot of us had to start completely from scratch with new ideas because the stuff we wanted to do was based off of things that weren't obviously happening due to COVID-19. And so we lost mission trips, we lost music tour, spring banquet, spring sports, and all of us joked around, felt so bad for last year's seniors. Oh, they missed the last quarter and stuff, and then here we are, like losing like all of them. So I think we've been doing pretty good, guys. Like, we've stayed strong, and our class is still, like, we're all here. And I'm happy we get to have these type of events now. So I hope throughout the rest of senior year we can continue to make memories. So.
As Lily mentioned, as we transitioned from our junior year into our senior year, it was all pretty hard for us. Doing online school is not the ideal for your senior year, but I would say we still kept our energy, we still kept our rowdiness that keeps getting us in trouble, but this time it was virtual, so we didn't get in as much trouble. I think I speak for all of us when I say that senioritis definitely hit harder this year. Doing online school just kind of plummeted our motivation, and I definitely was tired and done with school by the time senior projects rolled around. Although, thank you to the Petersons for opening their home to us, we were able to meet as a class at their house and see each other and revive our energy and renew our spirits as a class. That evening, we were able to see each other, play some games, watch a movie, and just hang out and really feel our company for the first time as seniors. Thankfully, the door of opportunity has opened up a little bit more, and as we go into the second quarter, we are able to meet in person. This has been awesome. Seeing all my classmates in school and feeling our spirit has really helped our motivation levels, I would say. As the door of opportunity continues to open up, I know that our class will stay strong. We always have, and I pray and I hope that we will get all the things that we have missed out during our first semester, like class trip, and now we're getting senior rec, which is awesome, although it looks a little bit different. So I just want to challenge you guys to keep up your energy, keep up your love, and I know we will get through this together. Thank you.
I don't care what you put in it. Here's the nights that you can't take back. We live hard, but we love to laugh. We all thought that we'd get rich fast. Hopped the plane out for greener grass. Found out the greenest cash don't compare to the friends that last. See, we won't forget where we came from. The city won't change us. We beat to the same drum. Sunglasses, Red Bull and minivans, and people who had your back when the world didn't understand. See, we won't forget where we came from. The city won't change us. We beat to the same drum. No, we won't forget where we came from. The city can't change us. We beat to the same drum, the same drum. Oh no, this city won't change us. Oh no, this city won't change us. Oh no, this city won't change us. Change us. La da 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 la da 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 da. No matter where we go, we always way back home. I feel like new sunglasses,
Yes.
like a brand new pair of jeans. I feel like taking chances. I feel a lot like 17. I feel like windows roll down new city streets and cabs. I feel like anything can happen, laughing. You take me right back to when we were kids. Never thought I'd feel like this. Like when I close my eyes and don't even care if anyone sees me dancing. Like I can fly and don't even think of touching the ground. Like a heartbeat skip, like an open page, like a one-way trip on an aeroplane. It's the way that I feel when I'm with you. Brand new. I feel like a young John Cusack, like making big mistakes. I feel like for the first time in a long time, I am not afraid. I feel like a kid. Never thought it'd feel like this. Like when I close my eyes and don't even care if anyone sees me dancing. Like I can fly and don't even think of touching the ground. Like a heartbeat skip, like an open page, like a one-way trip on an aeroplane. It's the way that I feel when I'm with you. Brand new. Time will always try to make us. Time will always try to make us. You remind me what I used to know. Like when I close my eyes and don't even care if anyone sees me dancing. Like I can fly and don't even think of touching the ground. Like a heartbeat skip, like an open page, like a one-way trip on an aeroplane. It's the way that I feel when I'm with you. Brand new. Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you build a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your name. Hope if everybody runs, you choose to stay. Hope that you fall in love and it hurts so bad.
No.
Hey, the only way you can know, you give it all you had. And I hope that you don't suffer, but take the pain. Hope when the moment comes, you'll say, I live. Hope that you spend your days, but they all add up. And when that sun goes down, hope you raise your cup. Oh, I wish that I could witness all your joy and all your pain. But until my moment comes, I'll say, I lived. I swear I did it all. I did it all. I owned every second that this world could give. I saw so many places, the things that I did. And with every broken bone, I swear I lived.
in quietness and trust.
When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king over the flood. I will be still and know you are God. When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king over the flood. I will be still and know you are God. When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king over the flood. I will be still and know you are God. I will be still and know you are God.
I hope all of you have enjoyed the presentation and the special music, right? How about we just clap our hands to once again for them and to support the upcoming people. The next speaker will be a little bit different than the speakers before. She is a staff member working at Portland Adventist Academy. She taught English and psychology before, and she is guess what? She is the director of gospel choir. Is that nice? Has anyone know who she is? Okay, let's welcome Vice Principal Rochelle McCrae to bring us the message.
Great. Good evening, class of 2021, family, friends, and online viewers. Thank you, Sunnyside Church, Pastor Wittes, Pastor Billy, and staff for opening your doors and inviting us this evening. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you tonight. Thank you, 2021, for asking me to speak. To stand before you is not something I take lightly. Let's take a moment to speak to God, if you could pause for just a moment. Thank you for being God, for loving us, flaws and all, for hearing us and believing in us, for the times we don't believe in ourselves. God, we praise you and believe in your power. Amen. During the last few months, I wondered what I could possibly say to you, the class of 2021. Before this, I had hoped your first choice speaker would have accepted, and when I heard they declined, I began to hold my breath. Oh no, not me, not me. I will admit, when the original date for Senior Rec was postponed or canceled, I exhaled. I realized that I no longer had to think and focus on words of inspiration or words that for some were just going to be tuned out. I exhaled. I could breathe. And then a few months later, I was notified by your president asking if I was still available to speak. I then started to wrestle with God and question him. God, what do I say? Where do I start? What message do I convey? Does it even matter? And that is when I took myself out of the equation and started to shift. Many of you on this stage are 17 and 18, so the early 2000s is your birth year. Let's take a step back in time for a quick moment and look at the year 2003. A gallon of gas was $1.83. Median income, $45,000. The average house, $246,000. Saddam Hussein, former president of Iraq, is captured. Lance Armstrong wins his 5th Tour de France. Americans rename French fries to freedom fries in protest of France's stand on Iraq. Ex-soldier John Muhammad is found guilty of the Washington sniper shootings. Justice Roy Moore is suspended when he refused to take down the 10 Commandments from an Alabama state justice. Arnold Schwarzenegger is elected governor of California. Concerns continue to grow over possible Asian bird flu outbreak, also known as avian influenza. Apple launches iTunes, which becomes a major success, selling 10 million songs within 4 months of launch. J.K. Rowling's 5th Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, is released. Lord of the Rings, Finding Nemo, Bad Boys 2, and Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl are on the big screen. In sports, Tampa Bay Buccaneers were Super Bowl champs. Spurs were the NBA champs, and the Florida Marlins won the World Series. The popular baby names for that year were Jacob, Aiden, Ethan, Matthew, Emily, Emma, Madison, and Hannah. The hot item Christmas gifts were Beyblades, Barbie Supergirl, Game Boy Advance SP. Time Magazine's Person of the Year was the American Soldier. Newbie was slang. Flexitarian was a vegetarian who occasionally eats meat. And the 10 most popular websites were Yahoo, AOL, MSN, Microsoft, eBay, Google, Go.com, Netscape, Windows Media, and Weather.com. And while all of this was happening, I was in the 2nd semester of my freshman year at Oakwood University, Oakwood College at that time, while some of you weren't even born. Some were newbies in the world, and from that moment you entered, your educational experience has been guided by someone or something. You follow the trajectory of daycare, home until kindergarten, preschool, maybe even a nanny. Then came 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. Some homeschooled, some skipped grades, some years spent in public school, and some at the same elementary school for the past several years, where you walked down familiar halls and knew the teachers. Then comes that big moment when you hear or heard, "Are you ready for high school? Where do you plan to go? Are you going to PAA?" There's nothing like your high school experience. Enjoy the next 4 years because they're going to fly by. Blink, and then it's over. So you waited, you anticipated, you planned, you processed, and for some, chose to begin your high school experience at Portland Adventist Academy, home of the Cougars, August 2017. You have seen friends transfer to different schools over the years, and some people decided to join your class. Some of you grew up at PAA because of older siblings, ABL, which is the Adventist Basketball League, sports camps, and because it is where your parents worked. And during the last few years, you have had your PAA high school experience. To date, you are one of the most competitive classes I've had the opportunity to witness. It's rare to see a freshman class score high during Spirit Week competitions, but you all would dominate, and you continue to. You all have many gifts, and when you do something, you do it well. It's cliche to say, oh, they are great athletes, great musicians, great scholars, but you are. I can't say that about every class. There is something about you all that is natural. It may be because you have a mix of birth order. Quite a few of you are the middle child or the youngest, which then gives you that push because you've always had to prove something or live in someone else's shadow. You were outshined by older siblings or were the only child. Who knows, but all of that great was snatched away from you March 2020. The middle of your junior year, life as we know it shifted. Some say change. Yes, there have been changes, but a lot of it was already present. Things were just uncovered. Life shifted to where normalcy was no longer the norm, but a distant memory. What was constant, traditional, expected, and uncomfortable was left for the unknown. You spent the next few months tackling high school virtually And then months followed with a game of, when will we open in person? Fast forward to January 2021, PAA's doors reopened, and feelings from many students were, we're glad it's open, but it's all of the worst parts of high school with none of the perks. But my question is, who gets to determine your high school experience? Who gets to tell you what to enjoy and not to enjoy? Before all of the crazy, high school has been some of the hardest years of your life. Some of your longest nights crying were because of the grade you received on a project, assignment, or a test. The picture that didn't get enough likes, you ended up on JV again. Your friend just stopped talking to you. That text message left you on red. Or because of the events you weren't invited to. High school experience where the depression and anxiety were so thick, you didn't think you could fake another smile. The high school experience where you checked all of the boxes just to get an A. It didn't matter if it was mastery or not. The high school experience where you didn't get playing time, you were benched or someone outshined you. The high school experience where you came to be entertained at the expenses of someone else's flaws. The high school experience where you question God. Often our society plays this game. You wait to experience something until someone can tell you what to expect. Someone told you what your high school experience was supposed to be. Someone told you what was expected and not accepted. They told you what you were going to miss out on or you have missed out on. They told you what you should get involved in, who you should talk to, which teacher has your best interests at heart, which class will challenge you, what to say and what to do so you won't get caught. But what's interesting is that this is your life. How have you been loving you? How are you treating you? How are you talking to yourself? What words are you saying? Hollywood society has painted a picture of high school. Football games, homecoming, prom, constant arguing with parents, nerds, jocks, popular kids, red cups, band kids, parties with no parents, loner student who remains invisible or becomes a life of the party, fake ID, alcohol, loss of virginity, rumors, questioning identity, crush, heartache, divorce, coming out. Experience defined by Merriam-Webster, direct observation of our participation in events as a basis of knowledge, the conscious events that make up an individual life. If any of group of individuals has had a high school experience, it's been you at this moment. This past year has caused you to lose friends, change friends, and question things. Prior to this year, some of you were the best of friends, but it has allowed you to see people's colors. I'm talking past the red and blue or black and white, but truly seeing the color of their character, choices, values, beliefs, and experiences. Freshman year in my class, I told you, my class is centered around respect, and that you can believe whatever you want to believe. Just know why you believe it. Know why you value it. Know who taught it to you. And now your beliefs have grown stronger. This year, I have witnessed your strength, determination, and passion, working part-time and full-time jobs that required late hours, early mornings. Some of you have been teaching, leaving state to play sports, and firsthand experience with the stock market, all while managing classes and completing senior projects. Through all of what you have balanced and learned, you have also had to shift. Sometimes God has to shift our environment, nudge us, push us, for us to move in a different direction. In the book of Genesis, chapter 19, you will find the story of Lot, who was living in Sodom and Gomorrah. For so long, I focused on the part of the story of his wife turning into a pillar of salt. But I recently read the book, and what caught my eye is that although things around him were crazy, he didn't initially just pack up and leave his situation. He was used to and comfortable with the chaos. It says, at dawn the next morning, the angels became insistent. Hurry, they said to Lot. Take your wife and your 2 daughters who are here. Get out right now, or you will be swept away in the destruction of the city. When Lot still hesitated, the angel seized his hand and the hands of his wife and 2 daughters and rushed them to safety outside the city, for the Lord was merciful. When they were safely out of the city, one of the angels ordered, run for your lives and don't look back or stop anywhere in the valley. Escape to the mountains, or you will be swept away. Oh no, my Lord, Lot begged. You have been so gracious to me and saved my life, and you have shown such great kindness, but I can't go to the mountains. Disaster would catch up to me there, and I would soon die. See, there's a small village nearby. Please let me go there instead. Don't you see how small it is? Then my life will be saved. All right, the angel said, I will grant your request. I will not destroy the little village, but hurry, escape to it, for I can do nothing until you arrive there. Lot reached the village just as the sun was rising over the horizon. Then the Lord rained down fire and burning sulfur from the sky on Sodom and Gomorrah. He utterly destroyed them along with the other cities and villages of the plain, wiping out all the people and every bit of vegetation. But Lot's wife looked back as she was following behind him, and she turned into a pillar of salt. If you look closely, the angel had to grab Lot. He hesitated, said, I can't. Oh no, I will die. Have you ever spoken those words to God? The moment when you know the Holy Spirit was moving you in a different direction, but fear crept inside and took over. Maybe God is saying to you, I'm shifting your life and experience. Don't look back. I want to push you to somewhere different. I want to keep you safe, but I can't do it until you go and arrive to where I'm leading. Just don't look back. And you have spent the last year saying to God, I can't. Oh no. Maybe he is saying, I need to shift some people in your life. I need to shift some people out of your life. I need to remove some things, shift some views, some normalcy, and don't look back. I want to take you from here to there. I want to remove some habits because they weren't safe for you. Your world was getting dark. Some will say my world was just fine. I didn't want the shift or everything was good for me. I had a good thing going and now it was all taken away. What about me? It's not fair that I don't get the high school experience I was promised. So you look back like Lot's wife. Because the high school experience you were having was just fine, and you want to keep remembering it that way. But was it? Yes, we can sit and talk about what you missed out on or play the game of who had it worse. But what if those moments weren't meant for you? Lot was surrounded by any and everything. People paint the picture of high school that elevates them, and from their vantage point, often focusing on the good memories. You can choose to live with resilience or regret. Listen, if life has given you lemons, you take those lemons and make the best lemonade, lemon pie, lemon tarts, or lemon icing. I don't want you to downplay the years of high school before all things COVID that have stretched you and made you grow. Those moments that have made you who you are today. The early mornings for music, being a student athlete, which requires a strength not always possessed by all and sometimes gets overlooked. Keeping up your GPA, the life lessons, the mistakes, the failures, the opportunities for growth, the times you were pushed past what you thought was your limit or impossible, and yet you didn't and haven't given up. Don't wait for that right moment or experience. There won't always be a next time. Another banquet, mission trip, spirit week, gospel choir, week of prayer, chapel, a trip, a sports team, an art show. When you are presented with the opportunities, take them. You still want that 4.0? What's stopping you? You still want to ask your crush out from freshman year? Go ahead, slide in the DMs and ask them. You want to change the way you look? Cut your hair, dye it, shave it, work out, change your meal plan. You want to get a job, pass your driver's license test? Do it. You want to pass classes and graduate? Make it happen. Keep pushing. Don't live a moment like Jonah in the Bible, who was called by God to deliver a message. He hesitated, chose a different route, ended up where he shouldn't have, give it another chance, went and shared the message, and then still blamed God for how God handled the people and the situation. Because he didn't believe they were worthy, didn't deserve it. Don't become bitter because of what you didn't get or compare what the other people received. God has something different. This year, I spoke with a classmate of yours, who believed God was shifting their life and had placed something on their heart to share. And I want to say to that person tonight, it's not too late. We never know what we are stopping because we thought we knew what was better. Be brave, be ready, be bold. Don't shrink who you are in order to make others feel comfortable. For many of your parents, they experienced a time during your younger years where they had to choose to let you sleep in their room or try the cry it out method. The cry it out method is a step in sleep training where you allow the baby to cry for a certain amount of time unless they self-soothe and eventually fall asleep. And as a parent, it can seem like forever. You want to pick the baby up and reassure them that you are there. You hear how this is so damaging to your child and you wait outside the door. But then when the child gets it and falls asleep, the parent exhales. Your parents may be at that stage right now where you've been crying it out during this last year because your high school experience is not what you thought it would be. And all they want is to pick you up, but they know it's better for you to self-soothe. You are strong. Stop letting someone else's memories stop you from creating your own. I'm going to say that again. Stop letting someone else's memories stop you from creating your own. We see in the Bible that when the number 40 is mentioned, a shift takes place. When Jesus was in the wilderness, he took 40 days to reflect, connect, and focus. And during that time, the devil came to him. I want to challenge each of you to use the next 40 days to reflect, connect, and focus. Ask the Holy Spirit to use you like never before. Ask him to make himself known, but know that the devil will try you. But don't fret, God is with you. Start on March 1. At the end of the 40 days, April 9, you will receive an email from me just checking in to see where your shift was and what it was. Trust me, your high school experience will go down in the history books. And for the time being, nobody will be able to one-up you with their, well, when I was in high school or back in my day story. No one ever said life would be easy and that you wouldn't have trials and hard times. But I want you to know, you got this. Don't just dream about what you want to do. Do it. When you have time, I want you to ask your parents or a trusted adult a few questions about high school. Ask them whether or not they would be friends with their high school self. Why or why not? Remind them I don't know is not an answer when it comes to their opinion. Ask them to describe their high school experience in 6 words or less. What group did they fall in? What advice would they give to their high school self? And how many friends from high school are they still friends with? I hope they give honest answers, because if this last year has taught us anything, now is the time to speak truth. I posted those 4 questions on Facebook, and here are some of the responses I received. Yes, I would be friends with my high school self. I had friends from all walks of life. I accepted everyone. I would tell myself to believe in myself like other people believe in me or more, take more chances, and not to let fear rob me of my experiences. I'm still friends with a lot of my friends who we all chose wonderful. Someone else said for the experiencing their describe your high school experience in 6 words or less. Someone said an escape from home life. And the advice they'd give their teenage self, listen more, talk less, assume less. Someone said, I'd be friends with me, although I've grown over the years. I'm pretty much the same person. My high school experience was me waiting my time to move out. Another person said, return and respect their choices and expect it in return. It's equally important to share how you have changed. Be vulnerable with your friends. Yes, I would be friends with myself. He often needs someone there for him, as his life had always been rough, including having to work harder than others to get the same results. I would tell myself that it is important to do well, but to not take grades more seriously than needed because those are not the most defining of your worth. Also, I would tell myself to never compare yourself to others because you'll always feel inadequate if you do. If I was to tell my high school self anything, it would be continue thinking outside the box. 6 words or less, could have given more effort. Would you be friends with your high school self? No, I was already acting like I was 30, not very fun. Spend more time trying to figure out what you want and less time trying to figure out what others want from you. Someone else said, yes, I was nice to everyone and never allowed myself to get caught up in the drama. 6 words or less, a dot in a white world. I would indeed be friends with my high school friends, especially Adela. She's resting until Jesus comes. I would tell my high school self to speak up more. Don't be silent when the truth needs to be shared. My last 2 years of high school, I would be friends. I have one friend from high school that I'm still friends with. I would tell myself to work harder in my first 2 years. High school years were the best and the worst of my life. Believe in yourself. You were smart. Don't be intimidated by those that speak louder than you. I don't think I'd be friends with myself. He was a self-centered idiot. I would tell myself, quit being a moron. Also, give your life to Christ sooner and don't waste time with TV and video games. Some of the above responses were from individuals who graduated from high school over 40 years ago. And I want to leave you with this. Take those 40 days and allow the Holy Spirit to shift. Keep looking forward. Know your worth. Know your value. Know that you are amazing and will continue to grow. Know the decisions and choices you make will impact your life. Take care of your mind, your body, and your soul. What are you putting in it and filling it with? I'm not just talking food, drink, and substances. Show yourself respect. Respect yourself. It's time for a shift. Just because it was a certain way doesn't mean it needs to remain that way. Continue asking why and don't accept, we have always done it this way. It's tradition. Seek understanding. Don't be an educated robot and check off the boxes. Know your strength and continue to be the best version of yourself. I want to see each of you receive your diploma and walk across the stage in June. If anybody worked hard for that diploma mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally, know that it was you. You did that. You deserve it. Remember, you only get one high school experience. Thank you.
Portland Adventist Academy, class of 2021. I am honored to share some information about each one of you. First of all, woohoo, it's senior year. This is it. There are, for everyone's information, there are 54 of you in your class. You literally represent countries from all over the world by your place of birth. In addition to the United States, some of you were born in China, Colombia, Israel, South Korea, Thailand, and Vietnam. We'd like to see how many of you started your schooling experience with at least one fellow classmate. If you were in kindergarten, preschool, or first grade with someone else in your class, would you stand up just for a second? Wow, nice. Thank you guys. Okay, go ahead. How many of you are second generation Cougars? That means at least one of your parents graduated from PAA. Would you stand up? Nice. Thank you guys. How about, are there any third generation Cougars? That means one of your parents and at least one of your grandparents. Caitlin, thank you. Nice. Look at all of our third generation Cougars. Nice, you guys. So we're going to talk about GPA. So far in high school, 47 of 54 of you have a GPA of 3.0 and above. Good job. Yes. 36 of you have a GPA of 3.5 and above. 14 of you have a GPA of 3.9 and above. And 6 of you have a GPA of 4.0 and above. Good job. But there is so much more to your class than statistics. There are 54 pretty amazing individuals that we're blessed to celebrate tonight. As I say each of your names, would you please wave your hand so everyone here knows who we're talking about? Ashton Allgood. Despite challenges or adversity, Ashton always has a smile to give. He's been a key player for the basketball team, and the Cougars are looking for big things from him this year. He's an integral part of the nucleus that keeps such great team chemistry going. Oh, and Ashton, Dawn's not sure if you think you still owe her something, but she says you better keep the Pepsi coming. Fareed. Where's Fareed? I can't see you waving, Fareed. Okay, thanks. Fareed is one of the most friendly students in his class. He never passes a staff member in the hallway without saying hi. Mr. Johnson especially appreciates Fareed. He's the first one into Prob and Stat Zoom classes most days, and he's always helpful and energetic in his responses. Such a nice young man. Sorry. Rachel Baez. Rachel is one of the most infectious laughs. She's friendly and helpful, fun, and especially reaches out to international students. Even with incredible responsibilities at home, Rachel has absolutely excelled at distance learning, and we're so proud of her, even though we miss her big laugh echoing in PA's halls. Colton Benevento. Nice. Colton, one of our resident golfers, is outgoing, enthusiastic, energetic, and entertaining. He's willing to speak up in Zoom classes, even when no one else will. He goes out of his way to stop and talk with his teachers, and he's always fun to talk to. Giovanni, where's Gio? Oh, nice. Gio has many talents, from soccer skills to drumming. He genuinely cares for those around him, and he looks out for the well-being of his friends and is always a blast to have around. Gio loves his car. You can see it in the picture. By the way, Gio, Miss Parra wants to say thank you for taking all her office candy. Jamie Brown. Where's Jamie? Oh, nice. Jamie's here and standing today. We're very excited about that. Jamie is going to change the world. She's remarkably compassionate, incredibly creative, and always driven, all while carrying herself with grace and love for those around her. In addition to her strong work ethic and communication skills, Jamie is a humble and talented artist. She also has mad parallel parking skills in the front parking lot. Madison Brown, Maddie. Maddie has been one of the best scorers for the girls' soccer team over the past 4 years. Linda shares that Maddie's sweet disposition in class transforms instantly into a fierce competitor on the soccer field. Maddie is a true cougar. Yulani. Oh, nice. Yulani brings a smile and positivity everywhere she goes, from her challenging AP Calculus class, where her dedication pushing through is evident, to the 3 sports she enthusiastically participates in. Yulani's leadership and unapologetic self is inspiring to everyone around her, and no one rings the front office doorbell quite like Yulani. Darian. Oh, nice. Pre-COVID, rain or shine, Darian could be found on the soccer field during lunch. He's a mainstay of the PAA soccer team, and we are looking forward to big things from him this year. Darian also brings a quiet confidence and a thirst for knowledge to classes every day. Linda notes that he's the kind of guy who will demonstrate incredible compassion in his field of work. Sam Calkins. Sam took on one of the most ambitious senior projects this year. He converted a van into an RV and did an amazing job at it. Mr. Gang appreciates Sam for being a fellow surfer. All of us appreciate Sam's sense of humor. He's frequently involved in some sort of joke or prank, especially if Jared's around. Jonathan Kamishtanen. Jonathan is our student body president. He's a leader who's organized, ambitious, proactive, and cares about others. Profe shares that Jonathan's willingness to speak up and share his opinions have made her a better teacher. His personal work ethic and thirst for excellence are evident in everything he does. Jared. Nice. For the last 4 years, Jared has been a big part of PAA's soccer team. He's a fierce competitor, always giving his utmost for his team. Jared's ability to rip it up on the mountain is admired, and the ski sponsors love to watch him ski. Linda shares that he also excels in using probes, scissors, and scalpels during anatomy dissections. Good job, Jared. Emery. We all love to hear Emery sing. In choir, allegria, or for fun, and in worship. In addition to her musical abilities and creativity, Emery's part of the Rock Climbing Club. Pastor Mackenzie also appreciates how Emery empathetically connects with care and concern with everyone around her. And all of us appreciate Emery's very distinctive sense of style. Elizabeth. Next. On top of being an excellent student and working hard academically, Alyssa is deeply spiritual and deeply wise. When Alyssa speaks, we all listen. Pastor Stephen shares that Alyssa has a prophetic voice in our campus, and we thank you for that, Alyssa. Ava. Ava is an avid volleyball player. In addition to being PA's amazing setter for 4 years, she also plays club volleyball. Ava is never afraid to share what's in her mind and ask hard questions. Her courage and curiosity are admirable. Mr. Peterson loves your willingness to always have a conversation with him. Thank you. Connor. Connor has outstanding analytical skills and consistently pushes himself to excel. His teachers appreciate his incredible focus and how he works through complex topics with deep cognitive understanding. Profe is thrilled that Connor is one of 6 students who've taken Spanish all 4 years. Thank you from Profe. Caitlin. Caitlin has been an important part of the International Student Mentor Program from before she was even a student at PAA. She is a rock of stability and faithful friend. Mr. Knapp, her auto mechanics teacher, appreciates that she is not afraid to get her hands dirty. She jumps into working on the cars, eager to learn and experience. Thank you. Seth. Seth is a joy to have in classes. He's willing to step up and share his ideas, and that's deeply appreciated. He consistently pursues excellence in everything that he does. Lance wants to be sure that we acknowledge that Seth is one of our best basketball shooters. He always gives 100% and is a force to be reckoned with on the court. Maddie Healy. Not only is Maddie remarkably skilled in oral and written communication, but her senior project highlighted her amazing skills as an illustrator. Her drawings truly tell stories. She's a soft-spoken and exceptionally kind young woman. Thank you. Andrew, nice. Andrew's attitude on the basketball court is appreciated by coaches and teammates. Lance really loves Andrew's help running the clock for volleyball. Thank you for that, Andrew. Andrew has a keen eye for design and detail as well as artistic abilities, as evidenced by the absolutely beautiful electric guitar that he built from scratch for his senior project. Stephanie. Stephanie's smile and kindness is effervescent and contagious. Stephanie has incredible determination to succeed, is extremely hardworking, and always planning ahead and working towards a goal. Nothing gets in the way of Stephanie's learning, not even terrible internet connections. Rachel. Oh, there, thanks. Rachel is a powerful young woman who isn't afraid to try new things. In the rock climbing club, she always has a kind word of encouragement for others. Pastor Steve has loved having Rachel as his student worker. She consistently gets more done than he thinks possible. He's hoping, Rachel, that there's some way we can keep you around for another year or two? Maybe not. Sophia. Sophia is one of Profe's 4-year Spanish students. She's also a terrific catcher for softball. Always come to the field with a smile on her face and a can-do spirit. In addition to Sophia's kindness and math skills, Kelly wants us all to know that Sophia is an accomplished quilter and Disney lyricist extraordinaire. Kalani. Kalani is an athlete who excels in volleyball and is PA's go-to second baseman. In addition to being a deep thinker and a loyal friend, Kalani's emotional intelligence is off the charts. She's a proficient listener, and every person around her leaves feeling better. Ms. Parra shares that the way you love and lead others, Kalani, is already changing the world. Jana. Jana always leads with a beautiful smile. She's known to many of us to be soft-spoken and a very good student. Jana is extremely kind and considerate and an absolutely excellent listener. Mrs. McCrae has especially valued Jana as part of the gospel choir these years. Thank you. Eric is an amazing pianist. He's focused on his computer programming future as well, and he works hard towards it. Right now, every morning he walks 20 minutes to get to a bus, and then after the bus ride takes a 45-minute max ride just to get to school every day. Many of us have also experienced Eric's extremely dry sense of humor. He's always a few steps ahead of the rest of us. Sydney. Sydney is without a doubt one of the best three-point shooters in PAA's history. Nice. Sydney tackles life and sports with incredible focus and work ethic. Positive energy constantly flows from her. Sydney also has strong leadership skills, and she makes things happen. Joe. Joe is a genuine friend who listens well and loves to laugh. Joe's also a skateboarder who's helped several of his friends learn to skateboard. In addition, he has construction experience. Everything from wiring to drywalling to finish work, Joe has impressive skills. He's also a wonderful big brother to his sisters and is often found driving them around. Philip. Philip is pretty easy to instantly identify on campus. No matter what the weather is, he's the person wearing a hoodie, shorts, and sandals. Philip has been a big part of PAA's soccer program these last 4 years. Something that Philip absolutely excels at is the scientific process. Linda appreciates his skill at hands-on projects and labs. She predicts his future as a compassionate healthcare provider. Dariana. Dariana has the amazing ability to get along with absolutely everybody. When she puts her mind to it, she can outwork everyone around her. According to Dawn, Dariana just might respond to the name Dollyana until you learn to say her name properly. Caleb. Caleb is an experienced baseball player, and he plays for Madison High School. In addition, he uses his expertise to create a series of baseball training videos. Caleb is definitely our resident baseball expert. Caleb is new to the senior class this year, but we can already tell that he cares deeply about his community, and his teachers have loved getting to know him. We're so glad that you joined us and are part of the PAA Cougar family, Caleb. Ryan. Oh, there. You cut your hair. I didn't recognize you. Sorry. Ryan has many loves and skills. He's fun to talk with. He's been part of the rock climbing club, and he loves talking about his car. Two teachers have specific appreciation for Ryan. Mr. Gang is impressed with Ryan's ability to ask questions to fully get the class off topic every time. Lance is especially impressed with your ability to always keep health class discussions very interesting. Caitlin. Caitlin is an absolutely ridiculously talented artist, especially for detailed work. If you get a chance, you need to check out Caitlin's senior project. It was amazing. In addition to being a valued athlete and determined academic, Kelly is especially awed by Caitlin's amazing ability to completely zone out at a moment's notice. Wong. Wong was one of the top students in anatomy. Linda really appreciates his motivation to spend extra time with his dissections, outside of normal lab times. In other areas, Huang's been working out, and he has been really building his social media following. Follow Huang. Haley. Haley is incredibly funny, She's also learned an incredible amount of English in the last 4 years. We are all so impressed with the AP classes she's taking and how every single day Haley gets up at 2 in the morning in Korea to join her online classes. Her dedication is inspiring. Journey. Journey's smile can absolutely light up the room. Journey is incredibly fun to have around. Lance loves having her on the softball team and wants us all to know that she leads the team in phone numbers. Journey is a phenomenal actress, and she shares her talent with all of us through drama class. Something that you might not be aware of is Journey also has a super talent as a TikTok creator. Brooklyn. Oh, sorry, right in front of me, sorry. Brooklyn has been an incredible help in the sound and AV booth for the last 3 years. On top of running our sound, she's willing to come in and help train others at a moment's notice. We don't know what we're going to do without you, Brooklyn. She's kind and thoughtful, dependable, an avid reader, deep thinker, and an artist. On top of all that, Mr. Knapp is especially impressed with your automech ability at the very top of your class. Good job. Matthew. Matthew excels at big projects, whether learning to make money on the stock market or climbing Monkey Face at Smith Rock. He dreams big and works to fulfill those dreams. Matthew's also a philosopher, musician, and theologian with a distinct gift for communicating dense thoughts in ways that are accessible and understandable. So proud of you, baby. Court. Court has been a 3-sport athlete every year. Did you wave, Court? Okay, thanks. And he makes big contributions to each one. He has contagious joy and energy. In Bible class, he once said, "Maybe every day is Sabbath." And everyone just sat there, puzzled, while Court smiled, waiting for everyone to catch on to his deep meaning behind what he says. Mr. Peterson wishes he was here to say he'll really miss you next year. Keely. Keely is an inspiration in many ways. She's confident and wise, sincere, mature, loyal, and caring, continually pressing forward to try new things, even if they're hard. Last summer, Keely hiked the entire Oregon portion of the Pacific Crest Trail, over 450 miles. Good job. Anna. Anna brings joy to the Mentor Club. Mrs. Bibb is so grateful that Anna always joins the online Mentor Club activities and games. Thank you for doing that. Ms. Para shares that, Anna, you have come so far, and this is only the beginning. The world is blessed to have you. Oscar. Oscar is multi-talented, especially as a musician. We love his passion and are excited for his performances. Oscar's smile and friendliness to everyone is deeply appreciated. We're sad to be losing Oscar's gifts and talents at the end of this year. If you want, you can stick around a little longer. Okay. Heron. Heron is a trailblazer, brave and creative. Heron has some impressive freestyle dance moves, as you got to see in the video earlier. We love our memories of Heron's dance routine at chapel. Pastor Stephen shares that he wants to be like Heron when he grows up, someone who cares deeply for people and especially has a heart for mercy and justice to prevail in the world. Thank you. Lillian. Lillian has a beautiful voice, an amazing smile, and a sweet spirit. She gives us glimpses of God's love through her incredible musical talents. And when she leads worship and the way she intentionally checks in on people in our community to encourage them, it's inspiring. Thank you. Amelia. Oh, thank you. Amelia is an extremely thoughtful person. She's smart and creative, caring, loving, kind, and nurturing. Pastor Mackenzie loves your conversations with her. Amelia's care and concern for those around her make her a quiet yet influential leader to those in her sphere of influence. Amelia is also an amazing artist. Jacob. Jacob is kind, helpful, an extremely talented young man. We are all blessed when he leads worship, sings, and plays his guitar for us. Jacob also helps people of all ages everywhere he goes. Jacob leans into deep conversation, and when you're talking with him, time flies. Bowen. Bowen joins his classes from China every day, getting up in the middle of the night. He even stays up into the early morning hours to play Among Us with the Mentor Club. Kelly appreciates how Bowen makes her laugh every single day. She shares he's a good math student with a wonderful smile, but questionable listening skills. His smile makes up for her having to repeat the directions. We all miss having Bowen here in Oregon with us. Olivia. Olivia is one of the most positive athletes we have ever had at PAA, and she leads out in volleyball, basketball, and softball. In addition to athletics, Olivia tackles leadership positions, she takes advanced classes, and mentors younger students. Her happiness, kindness, and helpfulness is appreciated by everyone. Josh. Josh is one of the most friendly people on campus. There's no one who's a stranger to Josh. He goes out of his way to help and connect with others, and he's always fun. Josh cares deeply for his family, and he makes sure their needs are met. He's also a natural in the kitchen, managing staff, and he makes sure the job gets done. Isaac. Isaac is creative and hardworking. He doesn't conform. He's unique and always respectful. Isaac is a deep thinker and insightful, and we all appreciate when he shares his music abilities at worship. Miss Go wanted to shout out that she was especially impressed by your fire roller coaster from freshman year. Good job, Isaac. Sam. Sam is mischievous and lovable. He's always interested in everything around him. Dawn loves how super polite and respectful he is every time he comes to the office. Some special skills that Sam has include being a musician, a skateboarder, and a dog walker. Andrew. Andrew was first team all-league for basketball last year. Good job, Andrew. He's one of the best team leaders the basketball team has ever had, and he truly cares about his teammates. He's also an ambassador, though, to the other teams and their team members. We all appreciate the positive, respectful, kind, thoughtful leader that Andrew is at PAA. Devin. Devin has been the big man, literally the big man on campus at PAA for the past 4 years. You might not realize this, but Devin has hidden remodeling and construction skills that he used for his senior project. There is so much about Devin to admire and appreciate, and Dawn especially appreciated your bravery when you dislocated your arm. That was horrible. Isit. Isit is a passionate soccer player. He's also the guy to know if you need a loyal friend. He's a deep thinker. He asks interesting, thought-provoking questions. He has a great sense of humor. And Mr. Peterson really appreciates the conversations you have with him. Thank you. I am so proud to present the class of 2021. We absolutely love you.
Please bow your heads for prayer. Dear Lord, tonight we are so grateful to be gathered together as a class. I pray that you would bless the time we have left together this year. Thank you for all of the family and the friends who have guided, nurtured, and loved us all the way to our senior year. We are grateful for the teachers, sponsors, and faculty who have supported us and helped us grow these last 4 years. I pray, God, that as we go forward into the next season of life, that you would just give us your peace and your comfort, that we remember the knowledge and the lessons we've learned here. This is an extra difficult year to be making life decisions, and I pray that we would feel your peace and wisdom as we decide where to go next. Please help us as we grieve everything this last year has meant for us. I thank you so much for every person in this class and the way I've seen you through them. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you all so much for coming.